What's going on, people? Welcome back to another video. You're now watching the Arsenal Agenda.
We are back again. What's going on, man?
How you doing, man?
Yeah, not too bad, you know.
It's been a minute.
Yeah, just been busy with work and that, you know.
I'm looking at the league table, bro, with pride.
Yes.
Arsenal Football Club currently 4th in the Prem. Things have been going quite well.
Yeah, man. It's looking up right now, man.
I mean, I'm not going to lie. Champions League football is within our grasp.
100%.
And that in itself is something, at least. Is that enough for you?
Well, I did expect kind of...
You expected Champions League football? From the start?
Yeah, no, I did actually, from early on.
Are you kidding me?
You know what it is? You know what, like I was saying during the stream before, it's Arsenal expectation.
Okay, not about the side.
It's not about the side within itself. Yeah, you're right. It's Arsenal expectation. Wanting to achieve top 4 should always be the goal. I mean, it's something that we're immune to. Under Arsene Wenger, we were unhappy with it under Arsene Wenger, but that's the expectation for Arsenal Football Club. So at the beginning of the season, I said, look, I want top 4 this season as well as a domestic cup. Unfortunately, the domestic cup situation's out the window. But I'm pleased that we're in a position now where we can achieve the expectation of being in top 4.
Cups, I'm not even fussed about right now, but we're playing what it looks like once every fortnight.
It's actually upsetting, to be quite fair.
It's a little bit painful, but it's making all the energy looking like it's being focused for that full 90 minutes.
Yeah.
Couple of hiccups along the way with Watford, but a nice 3-2 win there.
Yep.
Let's talk about the game itself. Bukayo Saka, I got to start there.
Brilliant, man.
The football on the way to his goal was
incredible.
Pretty special, wasn't it?
Yep. Very, very good, man. Glimpses of Arsene Wenger football there, man.
I mean, it had, I don't know whether you've seen it. I retweeted this video that someone's done. He's lined it up with Mbappe and Messi linking up in identical fashion. Exactly the same goal he scored in the Champions League. We've got a very valuable player on our hands there.
100%, man. You know, Saka's improved. He's been given, you can see he's got a lot of confidence in his game now. He understands himself better. He's found his identity as a winger, and he's starting to play with so much more drive and determination. The guy's very, very confident. And one thing I've picked up is his ball control. He's definitely improved in his ball control and how he handles the ball. And again, he's just improved dramatically. And then he's starting to provide end products now, getting himself goals. I mean, the goal we saw against Watford was incredible. All 3 goals were.
But Lacazette and his impact there.
He's
actually worth another year extension?
It's still questionable. Because, you know, you always want goals from your striker. Do you know what I mean? And
1 goal in 9.
I know, it's bad. But
8 assists.
Yeah, I mean, his link-up play is, you know, you can't question it. You know, he's great at holding the ball. He's great at bringing others into play. But again, you always want your striker to score goals. And, I mean, there's strikers out there. You know, I mean, Dusan Vlahovic is obviously off the cards now, but he's a striker.
You're still upset by that, aren't you?
A little bit, but you know, you have to move on, get over it, yeah. But he's a striker that has the same type of style to a Lacazette, where he can bring others into play. He can link up the ball, link up the play, and score goals as well.
He's got 4 goals in his first 7 for Juventus.
Yeah, he's doing well, man. He's doing well. But I think in regards to Lacazette, you know, I wouldn't be too downhearted about giving him a new extension on his deal. But
he sort of won you over recently?
To a certain extent.
No, I'm not believing it.
You know what it is? I've always liked Lacazette. I've always, like, even before he was at Arsenal, like, he was someone that I was raving to sign.
Yeah. We were a little bit late though, weren't we? We
were, but we could say we was a little late. But then the season before he joined, he had more goals than he played. Yeah. I think he played like 28 games and had like 31 goals. Yeah. So he was there, and we thought we was getting something else, but it's taken its time. And even though he slightly declined, he's still got something to offer this team. And I think because of his experience and his understanding of the players, and the players now looking up to Lacazette as the oldest and the one of the most respected players at the club, I think they kind of I think they kind of gain confidence through Lacazette and
he's the elder statesman. He's sort of carrying the ship right now.
Yeah, literally, and I think they look up to him. They respect him. They look up to him.
I just love the passion that he's showed when he has either scored or we've scored.
Yeah,
you can tell that he's in fact, the club as a whole, there seems to be an energy within the squad. I did worry for a second with the Aubameyang thing, that things could have fallen apart. It looks like it's working out quite well so far for both parties.
Based on the system that we're playing, Lacazette is the more suitable striker for this system. Aubameyang's not a link-up man. Arteta's always, you could tell by the style of play that he's always wanted a link-up man. Someone that can bring others into play. Aubameyang's not doing that. Aubameyang needs service. Even though we've got players that could provide Aubameyang with a service, we need that player that can be up top, that enables others to get themselves in the game and get more goals from other parts of the field. You know what I mean?
Well, look, let's talk about the other parts of the field. Midfielders are something that Arsenal have, I guess we've tinkered with in bringing in Odegaard.
Yeah, he's been incredible.
You a fan of Odegaard now?
Yeah, I've always been a fan of Odegaard. But when Odegaard first joined, I said, look, he's going to need more than 6 months to be able to find his feet at the club. Do you know what I mean?
Looks like it's starting to happen though.
100%. He is more involved, more confident, understands his players now, so he knows who's making runs, when they're making runs. The chemistry levels are at 100% between him and especially Saka. I think their level of understanding is incredible.
What about there's been a flip of the sort of roles that Xhaka and Partey are playing?
Yep, and this is something that I have been saying has been letting us down. The system that we were playing before had Partey and Xhaka both doing the same thing. That's the reason why we never saw the best of Partey, because it was conflicting for him. Whoever he was partnered with, whether it was Lokonga, Xhaka, El Neni, their roles were more or less the same. We needed someone that could move forward to allow Thomas Partey to be the base of the midfield so he can read the game more effectively, understand when he needs to get a ball, recover play,
He's
intercept.
Looked brilliant recently, man. Really good.
But because now Mikel Arteta has changed Xhaka's role in terms of being not as defensive, I think Thomas has freed up Thomas Partey from being in those shackles and not knowing what he's basically doing to now understanding what my role is now. Do you know what I mean?
I'm still getting a little bit frustrated when he tries to shoot, but apart from that, it has looked all good. However, there are going to need to be some changes. We've still got a lot of positive things to touch on, but just whilst we're sort of going through the side in terms of the forwards, we agree we need a striker or two really coming in the summer. I'm hoping the fact that we haven't invested huge amounts of money in January means that maybe they'll be happy to do another 150.
Hopefully.
But along the way with that, in my eyes, we're going to need a couple of other things, including midfielders.
Yeah, 100%.
I like to think like players like El Neni.
He's gone.
May well be moving on now.
He's only got like 3 more months of his contract.
Yeah.
He's in the same boat as Eddie Nketiah and Lacazette, basically. And I don't see Mikel Arteta renewing it.
So, have you thought about any potential midfielders? Have you been watching any other football? Or?
Yeah, I've been watching a number of different games. But, there was a player that we were being linked with. I was very, very familiar with the player. Recent reports have suggested that he's not interested in Arsenal. Fabian Ruiz, yeah. Spanish, left-footed, very similar to Xhaka in some ways, but much more agile. I think he's got a bit more of a creative intelligence to his game. He understands where to, run, how to, get into certain positions. I think he uses that left foot very, very well. He's got a great strike on him, can pick out passes. It's one thing, when we brought Xhaka come with that with his name, he's got a great pass, he can shoot from distance, and don't see it in him.
Well, no, Xhaka's passing that's his elite attribute, I reckon. Yeah. Still, he doesn't shoot enough or get himself into positions to. He's sort of always around the edge these days. So maybe there's one coming sooner rather than later. But anyway, again, it's probably time for Arsenal to start looking elsewhere.
Yeah.
Given especially that they were so close to letting him leave recently.
I think that's definitely on the cards. I think that was a negotiation that Arsenal had last year with Roma. That, look, we'll be happy to let Xhaka go, but we just want to keep him for this last season. I think because we spent 150 million on all those players, we realised that if we sell Xhaka now, we're going to struggle to bring someone else in that has the same type of qualities as Xhaka or that's an improvement on him. And I reckon that's the reason why we might have kept him until this season.
Well, it's a long time until it actually happens, but already the rumours are starting. So Ruben Neves, Yuri Tielemans, and a whole bunch of others have been popping up. I saw a celebration actually when I was watching Lille the other day of Jonathan David and Renato Sanchez both doing the Aubameyang Lacazette handshake. So I don't know, it's typical sort of Arsenal way of thinking, but I just started thinking maybe they're sending a message to us.
Maybe.
Come and get me.
Come and get me. Or maybe that we've already got. Remember, Lokonga said that he knew he was joining Arsenal 3 months before it actually happened. So maybe there is some sort of talks behind the scenes to say, look, Renato Sanchez and Jonathan David are both joining Arsenal.
Right. They have got recent history with Lille, of course.
Exactly.
Gabriel and Pepe.
Yeah.
What do you see happening with Pepe?
Do
you think we're gonna give him another go?
I just don't think he's not the Mikel Arteta type player, is he?
Are you still not sold on him?
No, I'm not sold on him.
You never were sold on him, but
yeah, I was never sold on Pepe, to be quite fair. I mean, I've had enough time to analyse him and understand that he's not the right man for this squad. He's a good player, don't get me wrong, and you know, he can pop up at any given moment and give you some bit of magic like we saw against Brentford. But when it comes to consistency, he's not the man. And I think Mikel Arteta knows that. That's why he's not starting him, because I think he's a weak link in Mikel Arteta's eyes.
I couldn't believe he didn't start him against Watford after the Brentford cameo. Yeah, but when he came on against Watford, he's all over the place.
Yeah, and that's why Mikel Arteta's not backing him. You know, he's not backing him for that reason. The consistency of the player is just, he's too inconsistent. And I think this summer, Nicolas Pepe is probably going to be shipped out the door.
Well, he's talked in particular about players that could be coming in being or having to be of a required quality, which is kind of promising. It looks like they're only going to be bringing in top players.
Yeah.
And, you know, I've got to say, I'm quite impressed with what they've done, but I'm also looking at the fixture list and slightly weary.
Yeah, a bit worried, isn't it?
Well, we've got 3 games in hand.
That's the positive, but the games that we've got in hand is Liverpool, Chelsea, Tottenham.
And Spurs, yeah. So you could see Arsenal losing all 3 of them on a day. And that would really stress us out towards the end of the season. Potentially be playing with fire. But they have been winning the games that they're supposed to be winning, or at least that we think they should be supposed to be winning. You know?
Yeah.
And I don't know about you, but for me, the watching of the games is becoming a lot less stressful.
Yeah, we're starting to find ourselves a bit more, innit? We've got an identity now, an identity that a lot of us can start believing in, because it's been a bit more consistent. We've been a bit more consistent with what we're actually doing, how we're moving the ball around the park. You know, we know the defence has been top notch for quite some time. I know against Watford it wasn't the greatest.
Against Watford,
yeah, it wasn't the greatest, but you know, we do know that the defence has solidified. There is a lot more going on there. You know, the relationships are tighter. You know, I think we've lost Tommy Yasu, so that's kind of been a bit of an hiccup for us. But
what do you reckon of right back in the summer as well?
100%, yeah. We're looking at a right back. We're probably looking at a backup. I mean, there's Mezraoui that plays for Ajax. He's coming to the end of his contract. The only problem we have there is that you've got teams like Barcelona that are looking at him, and I think Inter Milan, one of those teams there. So that could be a stumbling block. But
no chance for what's his name, Osei Tutu at Rotherham.
Yeah, he's a good player, but I think he still needs to gain a bit of experience. But as a backup, I mean, you can't really can't really go wrong. The only worrying thing is Tomiyasu. Is Tomiyasu starting to...
Or do you think the injury was a problem?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like,
It's
maybe...
been a minute, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been over a month now, isn't it? So, you know, he hasn't been injured prior to that, but now, you know what one injury is like.
He's been really good though, man.
He has been really good. But
he does look defensively. I think he's had 1 or 2 bad games since he's been here.
Yeah.
Basically. And that is great. In the
100%.
Premier, new league, all of that. New
Exactly.
teammates.
And he's playing as a right back, bearing in mind he's actually a centre back.
Oh, okay.
He's actually a centre back.
Okay.
When he was playing in Italy,
I mean, he's built more like a centre back.
he is a centre back, but he can play as a right. He can play as a right back. You know, same as Ben White. Ben White can
His
play as
passing is, you know, and his sort of composure on the ball and then off the ball, his work rate.
Yep. Mikel Arteta likes his ball playing defenders, don't he? You know, players that can pass that from the back and have got a good pass on them.
Whilst we're on that, Ben White, what did you think of the last couple of games? What do you think of his time at Arsenal so far?
I mean, it's not been bad. He's had a good spell.
Grown into it.
You know, looks more confident. Still would prefer Saliba, to be honest, but
okay. There's been some talk about that recently. He's maybe going to stay. They might get Champions League football. I think they're trying to keep him if they can.
Yeah. And I think Arteta is trying to get a new contract done with Saliba.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Are you sound like more confident now about him staying?
William Saliba.
Yeah.
It's very touchy, to be quite fair.
Where does he fit?
That's the question. Like, who does he sit on the bench for Ben White? Does Ben White sit on the bench for him? Like, what happens there?
Wait, we spent 50 mil on Ben White, right?
Exactly.
He's not sitting on the bench, then, is he? They gave him Saliba's number as well. It just strikes me as like I'm not sure he's coming back, bro.
Yeah, it makes you think that way, innit?
Well, the other thing is you've got to think from a sort of the human aspect of it. He's just spent the last God knows how many months with the likes of Guendouzi and now Kolasinac.
Guendouzi's confirmed that he's staying at Marseille now. That's confirmed.
Right, that's
They've
done.
actually
He's gone.
£10 million to Marseille in the summer.
10 mil. Wow.
And then you got to think if Matteo Guendouzi
he was valued at like £75 million once.
Exactly. Very, very questionable, isn't it? But in being around Matteo, you can tell Matteo's got that attitude.
He's very.
He will try and twang or convince Saliba to stay with him at Marseille. I bet they're just best mates now. Basically. Yeah, they probably have been. When Saliba joined,
do we want that back? Because, like I said, there is a good energy at the club.
There is a good energy.
Is he going to fit into that?
I think he can.
Right.
You know, as long as he knows that, as long as he has to sit down with Mikel and Mikel says, look, we done what we've done because we wanted you to really gain the experience that you needed to come back to this Premier League and do it.
Do you reckon that's what it was, though?
Yeah. Didn't want to edge his bets on him due to the fact that he hasn't got the Premier League experience.
If that is the case, he's gained a whole lot of experience out there.
Yeah.
He looks to have played really well. That has got to stand him in good stead, at least to be something Arteta considers.
Yeah.
But
then that's the worrying thing, though, because if you put yourself in those shoes and you're doing all of that in France, a country that you're from, you're more likely to be like, you know what, I'm gonna chill here. I'm gonna stay here. I'm gonna talk to Arsenal and say, you know what, Arsenal, I've had a fantastic time at Marseille. We've got Champions League as well. We're runners up to the league. I've been the best centre back at the club. Everybody loves me. I'm ready to stay here. That was the whole problem, you know, knowing that he's going to have a great time and that time is going to convince him to be like, you know what, I've found my home.
Well, look, this is a slightly different, but it could be a similar situation with some of our most talented players at the club now with Saka, for example. You've got Liverpool sniffing around. There's no way that a manager like Jurgen Klopp hasn't seen that goal he scored against Watford and thought, I can do something with that.
100%. I don't think
like if Arsenal don't get Champions League football, we will have to sell someone.
Yeah, 100%. That's just that's how it works, isn't it?
Right.
But I don't see Saka leaving. Saka's loyal to the Arsenal project, regardless of who the manager is. He loves Arsenal Football Club. There is no way. It's going to have... I said, if Arsenal don't buck up their ideas by the time Saka is about 25, 26, then there is a possibility that he will want to start moving on.
Another 6 years.
Yeah. I think Saka, he loves Arsenal to the point where he actually wants to really try and get Arsenal to where they need to be. He hasn't had enough time at this moment in time. He's been a part of the team for 3 years. He knows 2 of those years more or less have been a development process. It's only this year where Saka has been the real guy. He
is now an established England international, been to the final of the Euros. He's sort of carried Arsenal for a minute. And if he has got the right people around him, they may say, stay grounded, keep plugging away and things will go right. But he will also, I'm sure, have money men in his ear saying, look, you're super valuable now and you need to be playing Champions League football with or without Arsenal.
That could
if
be
Arsenal
the case.
don't make Champions League, let's say for a couple of years, and that's worst comes to worst, because right now, in our hands.
It looks like it's happening, yeah.
But if Arsenal don't, or they need the money, I would be worried, because he is like the jewel in the crown. Similar type of situation, but less so for me, with Smith Rowe, who is... again, once he's sort of your homegrown product, it's more valuable, it's more marketable. And again, together on the pitch, they look special. Martinelli, again, he's moving into that bracket of like, you've got the potential to be absolutely incredible here. But
it all lies on Arsenal, innit?
Right.
Literally.
What are we going to do to help those kids flourish? Are they going to go into the window and try and bring in some guys that they can look up to? Or does the rest of the club actually look to them as the stars? Is that what it is? Because, Wenger said that a long time ago, we make them, we don't buy them.
Yeah. I think 1 or 2 players are going to have to come in to help elevate the club and show Saka and the rest of the young lads some inspiration. And I think Arsenal need to do that. If we're moving into the Champions League, we definitely have to bring in 2 proven Champions League players that have been in that Champions League before. If you look at our squad now, we've got no players that have played Champions League football other than Lacazette 5-6 years ago. No one's played Champions League football. So I think...
Gabriel might have had a game. Oh no, Tierney might as well.
Yeah, Celtic, he probably would have. Yeah, he would have played Champions League. But
we are struggling for Champions League experience right now.
Yeah.
Who are you looking for then to upgrade?
It's mad.
Is there like a level cut off as well? Because I see people still talking about Tammy, for example.
Tammy's done very, very well for Roma, man. Yeah. He's on 20 goals so far this season, isn't he? And a
lot of people would have turned their nose up at him before.
But then it's like
he moved.
He wasn't doing the greatest in Premier League.
That worries me, man. That's like nothing's happened with Tammy, really, has it? He's still the same guy.
Still the same guy, just playing in an easier league, man. That's all it is. Okay. Look what Lukaku was doing in that league. He's come to the Premier League. He can't even hit a barn door. It's Tammy could be the same process. He could go over there, smash it, come back to the Premier League and struggle. Do you know what I mean? The level of intensity over here is different.
He talked about Rashford as well because his contract's being run down.
Yeah, Rashford looks like he'd probably be leaving Manchester United. But would you be happy to take Rashford at Arsenal? I don't think I would.
You want a better level than Rashford? What does that mean in terms of goal scoring record?
If there was a striker out there right now that I would look to bring in, we're looking at a player that we've actually been linked with recently, Darwin Núñez.
Oh yeah, he's got a great record.
He's got a great record.
Yeah. He's consistent.
Yeah, him and also Patrick Schick. I think these are 2 strikers that have both played in the Champions League.
Okay.
And their records speak for themselves,
He was amazing in the Euros, Schick.
Yeah. Schick has been consistent since the Euros, and he's maintained it this season.
Rashford scoring 1 in 3. Is that good enough for you?
I mean, Rashford's a good player, but there's something just not right over at Manchester United right now, and it makes me think, well, if something's not right over there, I wouldn't want to take any of your players. He could be the problem.
Well, I'll tell you what.
You're going to bring that problem over here.
United are not run very well at all.
They're not.
And it looks like Arsenal are, you know, or up until recent times anyway, were equally as badly run. But there's been a lot of structural changes
at Arsenal.
I do get the feeling, man, that Arteta is running quite a tight ship. Like, not only in terms of the sort of way that he's dealt with like Guendouzi or others, but also just his ethos. Yeah, he strikes me as like this is how we're doing it.
Yeah, and if you're not on it, get out. Yeah, it's clearly the same with Aubameyang and other players, isn't it?
So that mentality might well make you a few enemies, but if you get enough people to buy into it, that's incredibly powerful, man, I think. Because he is basically saying, we are going to win. You just got to believe in the project, buy into it. And if there's any doubt, I can't have that around here. Anyone not taking it seriously.
You know what? I have to say that Arteta has been consistent with that approach, because if you go back to when Arteta first took over and you listen to what he was saying in his press conferences, that was his approach from there. Yeah. I need to understand these players. I need to understand what's wrong with these players so I can get them on board. Yeah. We need to be unified. We need to stick together from top to bottom, and we need to just drive this bus. Do you know what I mean? If you're not involved in driving the bus, see you later. I can't have you here. And that's been his approach from the get-go.
So obviously we've talked about some of the successes, the positive stuff around the club. You can't deny being in fourth is an achievement in itself for a younger squad in the league on average. I think he's the youngest manager in the league.
Yeah.
But you know, on the flip side of that, let's play the devil's advocate for a second. There are still a lot of people who've got high expectations. They believe the club should be there anyway. That's a given.
Yep.
And they will point to the fact that Arsenal has spent a lot of money in recent times. I was actually shocked when, what's his name? You know, the guy on Twitter, he does the financial reports for Arsenal.
I think I've seen him about. I forgot his name now.
He's so detailed, right? But it's quite shocking how much Arsenal spent.
Well, if you actually go back to Arsene Wenger's last season, he actually made them. That we splashed out money on Lacazette and Aubameyang, but we made about 160 million of player transfers. So when we're spending our little 100 million, we're still 60 million up.
Yeah.
So Arsene Wenger was saving their money.
Like I said, I look at the fixture list and I know, just from experience in this field and having done Arsenal for years, that the league table can be very deceptive. Your fixtures, whether or not they're even at home or away, obviously your injuries and the narrative, the officiating and pure randomness can all affect exactly what happens. What's on paper can just be completely fucking meaningless.
I think we can get results.
Okay.
I think we can actually get results if we continue playing the way we're playing at this moment in time.
Okay.
Yeah, we can be sceptical and slightly worried. Yeah, it could be like another Unai Emery situation.
I'm telling you, man, I don't want to have to do all that, bro. It's a lot of bad energy. I'm really hoping they pull this off, man. Fucking hell.
You know what? I have faith, man. I think the players are pulling together. The chemistry levels are high, and you know they're fighting for each other, man.
Yeah,
you know,
it feels like it, man.
If we go back to the Unai Emery situation, where in his first season we finished fifth and we had the opportunity to be third or fourth, the players weren't really fighting for each other. Yeah. The players didn't even care about each other to a certain degree.
There wasn't that togetherness.
There wasn't that togetherness, you know, and that's the reason why we capitulated in those final hurdles and ended up fifth. You know, I think now there's a different fight. There's a different level of togetherness, and
I hope so, man. I hope so.
I really believe that these guys can pull it through, man.
I need Champions League football again, man. I get gassed. I get super gassed watching players like someone who we've actually been linked to. We should talk about Atleti. Joao Felix.
Oh, that looks like it could be done, you know.
Bro, these are the type of things that get me back in.
Yeah, exactly.
I want to see top level ballers at the club.
Yeah, exactly.
Playing on the big nights.
Exactly.
Against the biggest teams.
There's an article or something that I published.
They've done some talks, man. Edu's active.
Edu is active. I told you, we need the Champions League experience, man. I know Felix is still young, fits Project Youth, but he's the next level. He is next level.
At the big M's, jeez, coming to the carpet.
Literally, he's a very, very good player. The only problem I see, you know, the only problem is if we bring in Felix, where's he playing? Is he going to be playing as the striker? Like, where is he playing?
He sort of floats about, doesn't he?
Yeah, he needs that free roaming role, isn't it? Like, I mean, I know
I think that's where football's going, man. See, with City and Foden, yes, they need a striker, but if you have someone who adds an extra man in midfield, can push out wide to the left and be part of the build-up, but is also capable of getting in and around.
Yeah.
I mean, that may be it. It's all about numerical advantage in different spaces right now. Like, and I really do think, like, if we follow the plan, that maybe Arteta can actually do that. That's why I think they'll all be buying now specific players, and has to be of a higher quality than what we've already got. So the right back that comes in, full stop, has to be better than Cedric.
Yeah, 100%.
Absolutely. We're not buying little dibby.
There has been talks to sign Jed Spence, but he's got a lot of potential.
Okay.
But is he right now an instant improvement on Cedric?
Probably not. I don't know.
Yeah.
Probably not for like reliability, if only because Cedric's been about.
He has got the experience.
But with the striker especially, I'm really excited, man, because I feel like they're going to go and spend money again.
Yeah, we have to. I think we're going to, it's either we bring back Balogun and use Balogun as a plan B and we buy a big striker, or we're buying two big strikers.
Have you been watching Balogun at Middlesbrough?
He's played well. He's running with the ball is good as well, and he's got the skill. I mean, I think he's not being used as a striker for Middlesbrough, is he? They're using him as an inside forward type player.
Well,
down the wings.
I remain unconvinced about his first touch and finishing, which is sort of key for the striker.
It's weird though, because he's finishing, in my opinion, I know it was under 23 football, but there should be no difference in terms of whether you're playing men or people your own age. His finishing was on point. His finishing was super on point.
His goal record is like, there's no one else who scored that many goals in Premier League too.
Yeah, literally.
But translating that to the man's game, just the full like elite level, I think it's just like,
he needs to work on it.
Yeah, it's difficult, man. But he's really a good manager anyway. Under Chris Wilder over there.
Yeah, now. Chris Wilder. Yeah, he's doing a good job, man. Middlesbrough could get themselves promoted. But in regards to Felix, though, there's a quote here that says, Arsenal's technical director, Edu Gaspar, and director of football, Richard Garlick, sat down with Felix and his team in Madrid. It is said that Felix is willing to make the switch to the Premier League and would not demand a significant wages from Arsenal.
He must be on significant wages already, surely.
I think he's on probably about 100. See, the maddest thing is, Atletico Madrid don't pay crazy amounts of money. I mean, Thomas Partey was only on 65k at Real Madrid, at Atletico Madrid. So this is saying that Felix's transfer from Benfica to Atletico Madrid has been nothing short of a disaster. Felix signed 2019 club record 126 million. He done very, very well for Benfica, got 15 goals in 26 appearances, and then there was a number of assists as well. I think it was like 10 assists.
Yeah, that season he was unreal. Unreal. Felix cost a fee while he reportedly is only earning a salary of 3.5 million euros a year, which is 67k per week. Oh, we can double that.
We can double that.
Comfortably.
Again, Atletico Madrid, they're not paying ridiculous wages to their players. And we are going to do exactly the same thing with what we've done with Thomas Partey. We gave Thomas Partey 160k, so we've gave Thomas Partey 95k more than he was actually earning at Atletico Madrid. You know, we could do the same thing with Felix. Remember, we freed up so much money.
Especially with Aubameyang leaving.
We've freed up so much money.
I did read that we'd paid 7 million for that to happen, but I guess in the long run it does work out.
But we've been in debt for free. This is the reason, like we were saying off camera, the reason why we can start believing to a certain degree in KSE. Because we have been in the red ever since Arsene Wenger left. We've been taking losses every single season since 2018. However, each and every season, they have allocated big budgets to Mikel Arteta. and even Unai Emery.
Right.
We spent £140 million in Unai Emery's last season. 72 million on Pepe, and the rest got splashed everywhere else. Now, for you to be in a red as a club, you're sitting in minus, but you're still splashing out 140 million.
There's investment, but okay.
And now we've freed up all these wages.
I just don't want to jump the gun with this. That's all. I just know.
Maybe we didn't buy anyone in January because KSC. Remember, we saw Arteta with Stan Kroenke over in America, right? Maybe that conversation could have been about, look, we ain't going to sign Dujan for HUGH. We're not going to sign this one and that one.
So just chill for now.
Just chill. Wait till the summer, and I've got you, cuz. Like I have got you. I'm going to give you the belly of the beast, mate.
I'm just posting a picture on Instagram, right? Please do follow me on Instagram. Wax, you on there?
Yeah, I'm on there. It's just Wax Online.
Links in the description box below. Premier League form table. Have a look at that. Last 10 games. Arsenal top of the
table.
This is actually happening.
Yeah.
I still feel in shock a little bit because a minute ago, bro, we were bottom of the league.
Bottom.
This is unreal.
It is unreal.
And it's been a beautiful thing to witness. However, things can change very quickly. And let's have a look forward. Next game, Leicester City.
Yeah, I mean, we got big games coming up, man. Leicester City ain't been doing very, very well this season, but you know they've got a squad. That's one thing we do know. They've got a squad. They're looking to offer Wesley Fofana a new contract as well, and
I think that's been done.
Yeah, tying him down. You know, so
yeah, man. It's funny, isn't it? Because they were both together at Saint Etienne.
Yeah, William Saliba. And the maddest thing is William Saliba was actually voted the better defender. I was arguing with people on Twitter a little while ago, yeah? And they were telling me, Saliba was raw, this, that, the other. And the reason why Wesley Fofana succeeded at Leicester is because there's not as much pressure as there is playing for Arsenal. But I had to question that. I said, look, Leicester, you know, they won the league a little while ago. They've just won an FA Cup, Community Shield. You know, there is pressure. These guys want to continue winning. Do you know what I mean? But Wesley Fofana's gone there, fitted straight in. And if we are to look at the reality of what's going on with Leicester, they have had their downfall ever since Wesley Fofana's been injured.
True, yeah.
He was the missing piece.
He was a big part of
the missing piece to their puzzle this season, you know? And Jamie Vardy, of course, and he's come back scoring goals as well. So
difficult one there, and then on to Liverpool.
That's the big one. We'll probably give Luis Diaz his debut goal.
Well, two big games. Actually, three big games in the space of 6 days.
Aston Villa.
13th, 16th and the 19th, with Villa, the last one. Now, I know you're a big fan of the project.
Yeah.
For a while, it looked like Steven Gerrard really had the wheels rolling. They were racing ahead, or racing away with progress anyway. That sort of faltered a little bit. And again,
they just won 4-0, didn't they?
Couple of wins with 2 clean sheets on the bounce, and a lot of people talking about how effective Coutinho has been.
6 goal contributions in 7 games.
He really does look to be enjoying his time there already, right?
Yeah, we should have signed him, honestly, man. There was Arsenal fans saying he's washed up, and I was like, nah, not Coutinho. And look at him.
I think that connection he's got with Gerrard is quite special.
Special.
He's probably given him a lease of life. Do you know what I mean? And
motivating him differently.
Gerrard doesn't strike me as the type of person you want to let down.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's not. He's a class manager. I like Steven Gerrard, man.
But then maybe Mikel Arteta is the same. Maybe he's not one to be let down either.
Similar attitude. I
reckon maybe.
But we've seen it. I mean, he's falling out with all these players because these players are letting him down, isn't it? There can't be another excuse for it. Why are you falling out with these players? These players are just not pulling their socks up. I'm on my channel. Why I call out Arteta for falling out with these players. People call him out because what other manager out there has fallen out with the amount of players that you're falling out with? But based on what you've just said, he's probably falling out with them because
they're not doing what they're supposed to be
doing. They're not doing what they're supposed to be doing.
And I did say that towards the end of Wenger's tenure, it looked like he was too soft.
Too soft.
He was putting his arm around too many people when they weren't turning up and weren't putting in the hard graft that is needed. And
obviously Arteta would have been there to obviously witness that.
Yeah.
He would have kind of seen that.
That's a major culture shift as well, if you're getting all those people who are thinking like that out. So right now, it looks like it's going to plan. Now,
the project's going to bang.
Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Please do subscribe to the channel if you're new. Subscribe to Wax's social media links in the description box as well. Leave us any questions and comments regarding the Arse, and we will be back same time, same place next week.
Yeah, 100%.
For now, though, we've been the Arsenal Agenda.